Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 20 of my 100-day project. It is the last day of watercolor before I move on to oil tomorrow. I am not feeling super great. I haven't felt super great since right before I traveled a few days ago, but ever since I came back, I don't know if I picked up something or the weather. It's just, I don't know, my allergies, my throat is really bugging me. So my energy is really low today. So coming up to do this painting, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. And I thought, okay, well, I mean, there's a ton of stuff I haven't done, but I have a bunch of Neocolor II crayons. The twos are water soluble. The ones I have been using for the wax resist the past few days, but the twos are water soluble. So I thought, okay, what if I sketch out a little kind of baby face and use that? And I had a watercolor palette with some old watercolor that had dried up from one of my classes. And I thought, well, let me just use this that's here. So I was really just using whatever was around me. And I have some pictures of family on the wall kind of across from where I am. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll do a painting inspired by one of those photographs. And so I sketched out with the Neocolor II. This is Payne Grey, I believe. Just this child's face. And when I first started, you may have noticed it's a smiling face. And as I started painting, the face got more and more pensive. So I think how I'm feeling maybe came through a little bit. And she looks like she's gritting her teeth a little bit in this one. So it's very loosely inspired by this photograph that I'm at an angle from, so I'm not even looking at it head on as a good reference to begin with. But I figured it would give me a place to start, and I really enjoyed the colors. This was fun to just, again, play up the light and the cool and play up the colors. And so I'm just kind of building up some shadows. Those Neocolor IIs dissolve really beautifully. You can see I can get these really nice washes of that gray color. If I had laid down those crayons even thicker, I would have gotten even better washes. But I was trying to go light because I didn't really want to see any of those sketch marks underneath. And if you go a little too heavy, sometimes those sketch marks will stay. So it's a balance there. And I'm happy to have it be around her eyes, but didn't really want it around her features and the other parts of her face. So while I was letting her face dry, I went in with a bright contrasty background. So I had some yellow. I have no idea what colors these are. They're the colors that were sitting in this palette. My guess is this is probably a gamboge, the yellow. And that orangey red color might be, gosh, it could be a naphthol crimson. These were tube watercolors that I put into a palette to use for something, and I have no idea what they are. But my guess is they might be those. And then the blue is most likely an ultramarine, and then I've got a violet in there as well. So I've got that background super bright and vibrant, which is kind of interesting because it kind of plays on the contrast of her face. Looks kind of pensive and kind of sad. And I really love that contrast of the background against how she's feeling. It almost doesn't match, and it feels discordant, like there's something off. And I think that's pretty much how I feel right now, just feeling under the weather. So I think it's interesting looking back at this and seeing how that came out. I'm trying to soften that one hard edge right there. I'm adding a little bit of water and trying to use a paper towel, and that pigment just doesn't want to move. So whatever that is, it's very staining and doesn't want to lift very much. So I'm just going to end up with that hard edge there, which is fine. It's a painting, you know, it's okay to see those sort of brush strokes. But I'm darkening up my shadows, trying to get the cheekiness in her cheeks to come forward, that volume. I don't know that I really captured that as well as I might if I had kept working on it and deepening up those shadows. But I was getting kind of tired, and I have I'm teaching a class tomorrow, and so I've got a little bit of prep to do tonight for that. So I'm not rushing through this, but I'm kind of just I'm not fussing over it, if you will, and kind of just going with what's there. But I'm using a little bit of titanium white to lighten up that cheek a little bit, to bring in some of the volume. And then again, darkening. With watercolor, it's all about the layers and darkening up those shadows, punching up the values, getting a little bit more shape and form to her face. And then I bring in just the teeniest bit of yellow into her skin tone, just to harmonize it with the background a little bit. I added a little bit of that orangey red color to the purple that I used in the shadow on the right of her face as well, to harmonize. Again, if you use a color in one place, you want to use it in more than one place. So just trying to bring I bring a little bit of yellow into the top of her hair as well, and then into the bottom part of her, just to bring it all together is really what I'm going for there. And I really could have bumped up that shadow on the left, looking at it, pulling out some of that bright yellow. And then I'm taking just a little bit of that titanium white on a brush, one of those really stiff brushes, to add a little bit of the highlight into her eye that I lost when I went in and added more of the Neocolor crayon. So she's got kind of this interesting sort of expression, which I'm kind of loving. And there she is, my last day of watercolor. Tomorrow we start with oil, and I'm excited to get back into that medium in a way that I maybe haven't before. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you are doing well, and whatever crazy weather you're experiencing isn't bothering you in quite the same way it is me. But thanks for joining. Take care. Bye.